Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another edition of Soccer As We Like It, the Man United direction channel for United and football fans, the biggest and best fan channel in the United States. Today we are talking about Luke Shaw's injury that has no comeback date, and we're talking about our Europa match against Fenerbahce. Is that going to be Mourinho's revenge? Joining me is the singing director, Denver and Houston Red Army, the one and only Louis. Welcome to the show, brother.
Always a pleasure, Mr. Tim. How you been, sir?
Not bad, not bad, not bad, mate. As you can see, Luke Shaw, he returned back to United in February. He played 7 games for United before he got injured and went to play for England in the Euros. After the Euros, he played 2 games in Euros. After Euros, he got injured again, and we have not seen him since the Euros. No preseason, nothing. There's no comeback date, nothing. I mean, he's been with the club since 2014. So he's been under Van Gaal, Mourinho, Ole. He's been there. The only manager he missed out was Moyes. Ever since then, he's been there. I mean, is it time to call it a day?
It's a difficult one overall. Look, I will never not say that Luke Shaw is the best left back in England because I
They said
still,
he's the best in the world. I disagree, though.
he's up there. I'm not gonna lie, he's a world class left back. But uh, this is a position, right back and left back, fullbacks in general. This is a position where at the professional level, top tier fullbacks are.
Mm,
It's an endangered species. There's
right.
not many. It's not a very, maybe it's not a popular position. I don't know, but there's very few and far in between. And when you look at just England as a whole, like you look at that Euro squad, like who else were they going to take?
They were
And
playing, what's his name? Oh, God.
he wasn't a
Uh,
left back.
no, he was a right back playing on the left back.
Yeah,
What's his name?
right,
I
exactly.
forgot his name.
And then it's the situation that we find ourselves in. This one to me comes down to the leadership. First, Glazernomics, and now Ineos shares the blame in this one because I said it in the summer and I'll say it again. I don't blame him for going. Probably his last Euro. And they really had a chance to win it. I don't blame him, but the management around that, understanding that when he left, he wasn't fit. He wasn't
Exactly.
fit already going in towards the tournament, and
He
but we
was
didn't buy,
injured before the Euro started.
but
He
we
wasn't
but
playing for the club.
but we didn't buy a left back.
No.
We knew the state that
Malasia,
he was in, and we knew that we were going to send him to one of the hardest international competitions in the world, and we didn't prepare. Again, and maybe Joel has a hand in this one, like he has a hand in so many other transfers that go the wrong way. Look, I don't know if it's time to move on Luke Shaw. It's a very difficult one for me because I still think he's a quality player, but at the same time, he's not being managed well. And then on the flip side of that, what responsibility needs to be laid on our medical team, which obviously is struggling
hmm,
so incredibly hard with the amount of injuries that we have, but also the recovery plans of each individual player. You can't tell me that there's no date. What is your job? You cannot tell me that you don't know. Like, hey, when is
it's
this?
really sad.
When are you going to give me that? When are you going to give me that report on my desk? Oh, I don't know. Like, you're not keeping your job. There's no way. There's
Well,
no
my
way.
friend, it's just like,
My heart
I,
breaks for my heart breaks for Luke Shaw, and maybe this is the end. But whether we keep him or whether we do need to move him on or he needs to retire, or whatever the case may be, we have to buy someone else. Stay, go. We need another left back. We probably need two. Uh,
Malasia was the replacement, or was it?
and do we have a return date? Do we have a timeline?
Malasia started to train. Malasia started training.
Started to train
Malasia has been given a date of November-ish. Him and
ish
Euro, November.
ish.
Lucio, no return date. None at all.
And
Nothing.
what is the drop off in ability between Luke Shaw and
I
Malassi?
mean, considering Luke Shaw's English and he's been in the Premier League literally his life, and Malasia came from the Dutch league. Um, the difference is Luke Shaw can put in better crosses and can overlap a bit more than Malasia. Just a hard tackler. Is a more of a Wan-Bissaka on the left. What?
Defensively solid. Can he go forward? Can
Yeah.
he create? Can he be
He,
clutch?
he, he could put in a better cross than Wan-Bissaka used
Well,
to.
look what we did to Wan-Bissaka. Mans is over there playing for who is he playing for? West Ham.
Where's Ham?
West Ham, and
We're gonna see this Sunday, mate.
you're gonna see him on Sunday.
Can
Uh,
Radford handle him? I don't
Fred
know, mate.
Fred and Amrabat on Thursday.
Yes.
Wan-Bissaka on Sunday.
Yeah, yeah. It's to putting the band back together.
Should have
So
been.
with Luke Shaw out, no return date. He's our best left back we have. I think we'll get to a point whereby you know what we can't because this is beginning to turn to a Phil Jones situation.
And it's fair. It's fair to say that for any Manchester United fan that says it's time to move him on. It's fair. It's not. It's one of those for me where it's difficult for me because I do know what he's capable of when he is fit. But then the question is he going to be fit? And
If he
once
comes back, how long is it going to be? Playoffs, what, 10
exactly
games,
right,
8 games, and it's done again.
exactly right. So I think there's no Manchester United fan that won't say we need to buy someone. And then
We do need.
at that point it's whether or not
It's obvious we need one.
if he loses his Manchester United spot, is he done for England? Probably. Because I don't think because he is so injury prone, I don't think any other top tier club is going to go near him.
Right.
And it's sad. Excuse me. It's sad because he is really good. He is one of the best left backs England's had in decades.
Right. Are you excited about looking forward to Lenny Euro returning?
Dude, how heartbreaking was that injury
Pre-season,
immediately after joining the club, injured right away. He didn't play very much for us, but what we did see was promising. He's young, he's fit, he's energetic. He's hungry. Wants to play for Manchester United. Obviously wants to be on the field. So yeah, I think when we signed him, I was already excited. I was already extremely excited. And I think that he's needed. He's absolutely needed because the rotation in the back, as we know, is been difficult over the last few games. Whether it's our center backs, whether we're playing Johnny Evans or Maguire, who's now injured, are we playing Martinez off the left, which to his credit did very, very well off the left against Brentford. I was happy overall with him.
Right.
Are we able to rotate Mazraoui back in? How's his ticker? Is it? Is he good? What was the whole deal with that? Seems like he was on the bench and he came off the bench. Did he come out? No, Ugarte came off the bench.
Yes. No. Mazraoui came on against Brentford. He came for the last 10 minutes.
The end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Johnny Evans,
So
I think, yeah.
It's clear that he's fit to play. I thought benching him against Brentford I thought was smart. Is Ugarte going to start
against Fenerbahce? That's going to be a game. So, what would be your ideal lineup again? Because we can all see, Amrabat, Fred, they got Zeko, they got who's that guy? Maximus from Newcastle.
Yeah, no, look, it's not going to be an easy game overall. Do they have the top tier players? Not necessarily, but they do have the top tier manager. I think Jose Mourinho is one of the greatest of all time. He's a very, very intelligent guy. He's very much a coach that can
find. Do you think he's seeking revenge?
I don't know so much if it's a revenge thing. I think people are kind of hyping that one a little bit
sell the match
too much. A little bit too much. I think wherever he goes, I think he wants to be successful, and I think he's very capable of being successful. He understands how to find weakness. He understands how to exploit weakness. It's something that he's going to be looking to do against Manchester United, but he's looking to do it every week. That being said, I think it'll be tight overall. If the goal difference will probably be 1, it'll probably be by a goal. Whatever the
everyone has said that. You're the third person to say that you think that game is going to be very low scoring?
Well, for me, they're not so good that they're going to pin us in our own half, right? But they're not so naive that they can't play as smart. They can't,
No Bruno.
interesting, interesting to say the least with the red card situation. Um, for me, I think it's going to be a little bit more refreshing. I think he needs. No, honestly, it's not a dig at Bruno because honestly I still think Bruno is our best player overall.
Hmm.
But I think he needs the rest. I think he needs the rotation, and I think we need to see Manchester United with a different number 10. Uh, because what happens in these moments where he's suspended? What happens in the moment where he picks up an injury? Or he can't do what he did last season, where he played the most consecutive minutes of anyone in football. In football, I think the only exception was goalkeepers.
Yeah.
Um, that is unsustainable long term. What are we doing not only to the player, but what are we
I
doing?
went to the Euros.
What are we doing towards our team chemistry when we don't have that player, right? So for me, best lineup, you have Onana in goal. Um, Center back's kind of difficult for me because I actually kind of want to see Martinez play off the left again. I thought he did really, really well there, and I think he can make an impact. I think if you do that, center backs are probably
Evans and Delit.
Evans and Delict, which again, I don't think that's a bad pair. If he's fit to go 90, I think you put Mazraoui off the right, or if he's not fit to go 90, maybe you put him there for an hour and then sub Delo on later in towards the game. I think
Good.
that's a possibility. Or if he's fit to go 90, then you play Evans for an hour, sub him off, tuck Martinez in, and then you can play him off the left for 20, 30 minutes.
Right.
Um, I think that rotation makes sense. Up the field, a little bit difficult. You don't have a Bruno, so I put Ericsson in that 10 role. Then it's what do you do with the rest of the midfield? I think
Oh, you bring on Casemiro?
Casemiro probably gets in there because Manu is still out, right? Is
Yes.
that is that correct?
He's going to be out for 4 weeks.
Yeah, out for 4 weeks. So I think Casemiro goes in there, and then
Ugarte?
I think it's
Or
Ugarte. I think it's Ugarte. Who else? Who am I missing that could also be in there?
Mason Mount injured.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't even. I hate to say it, but I don't rate him.
So even if he was fit, you won't rate him. You won't start
If
him.
he's fit, I think he plays half an hour.
He's
If
another
he's
one
fit,
injury prone. It's like what
yeah,
the
if
hell?
he's fit, I think he plays half an hour, but he's not fit, so thank God we don't have to worry about it. Up top, gets the assist against Brentford, but I don't even know if you start Rashford. For me, I would love to
Yeah, he
see
will start. I can see him
I
starting
would
for
love to
Brentford.
see Garnacho, Hoyland, and Ahmad.
Mm,
Probably not going to happen. If you do start Rashford, I start him on the right. I start him on the right, keep Ahmad on the bench. But the thing is, if Rashford is not performing, you have to pull the trigger and you have to take him off. Whether where you take him off depends. Whether you take him off at halftime or you take him off at 60 or you take him off at 70. Um, I think you get that rotation. The thing is, I think that you're going to need you're going to need a mixture of the counter.
mm,
But also, I think you are going to have some moments of high possession where you're going to need some creativity coming off of the wing. And I think
right.
Ahmad and Garnacho are the best to offer that combination of both. I think with Rashford, you're looking at the counter a lot. I think if you're in possession, I think he's less impactful. Uh,
Mm,
it's moments for him. I think the assist towards Garnacho, brilliant, fantastic placed ball, comes off of a break, comes off of a
mm.
counter, essentially. It's not something that we built, put together, attracted defenders towards one side, and then clipped it towards the other side and found Garnacho. It's not what happened. It was a very fast paced moment within the game, which he's good at. But this is a team where I think they're going to look to shut down our midfield overall. I think they're going to look to press
I can
Ericsson,
see that.
to press Casemiro. But also they're going to understand that the speed on the wings is where we're going to create the most threatening balls from. So they're probably play a little bit deeper overall. For long stretches of the game. And then, that's Jose Mourinho bull. I think he does tend to play conservative, but he
Yes.
understands that there's going to be moments where they're looking to break, where they're looking to press us, to throw us off
And there
balance.
goes Zeko. You remember him from Man
That's
City?
Echo.
He's
Yeah, I
about
mean,
what, 6'5"?
yeah, look, I think the team overall is not bad. They are
Fourth
fourth
with a game in
in the
hand.
Turkish league, with a game in hand. And let me double check Europa League standings. How are they doing so far? They're not doing bad, I don't believe. They are 1-1, right? One win. Oh no, sorry, one win and one draw in their
Just
first
like
two games in Europa.
we have drawn two.
We have drawn twice,
Yeah.
correct? Yes, correct.
So they have
They
one, they got 4 points. We have 2 points.
Right, exactly. It's not a team that you can just knock, and the biggest difficulty of this game overall,
Mm.
aside from Jose Mourinho, is the fact that it's in Turkey.
Yeah.
That stadium is gonna
Yeah.
be rocking.
Absolutely crazy.
Not only is it going to be rocking with the Fenerbahce fan base, which is deep and is loyal, and they love their football. United fans are going to travel for this game. They're going to travel. I mean, it's going to be a packed
Yeah,
house.
it
It's
will
going to be a
be.
packed house. It's going to be difficult. You're going to need the leadership in there, and it's not going to come from Bruno because he's not on the field.
No. And
So
it's not
you're
definitely
going
coming from Rashford.
you're going to need players to step up. I think you're going to see it from De Ligt. I think you're going to see it from Ericsson. I think Casemiro is going to bring a lot of value as far as his experience in these types of atmospheres.
Mm.
It's going to come from your core. And look, it's a very winnable game. Do not get me wrong, but it's not going to be an easy game. So whatever does happen, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight
Right.
overall. What I don't what it's going to be difficult is if we come out with a draw. If we come out with a draw, it's it's good because it's
Mm.
such a difficult game, but then
Right.
it's a lot of fuel for those Ten Hag outers, or for those people that,
Of course.
or those people that have agendas against specific
Definitely.
players. Like
Definitely. Of course.
the problem with the draw is there's just going to be so much negativity surrounding a team
Yes.
in a moment where we just don't need a lot of negativity right now.
100%. So, do you have a predicted score? Just a predicted score. What you think United can, what do you think this outcome is going to be?
I would like it to be I would like it to be 2-1 to United.
That'd be fantastic.
I
That
think
would
that
be
would be a phenomenal result. If it was
okay.
1-0 to United, that would also be acceptable.
Yeah.
But the thing with the 1-0 is you're going to be biting your nails the whole game.
The whole game.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're prone, especially away, the pressure, the balls in the box, making those, you know, that bad tackle, that missed tackle under pressure. This team can't hold those leads for long periods of time. You know what I mean? It's not the real Ferdinand Vidic era. Nah, mate.
Speaking of which, sorry to pivot so hard.
Mm.
Did you see Rio and Vidic yesterday in Korea?
Yes, I saw clips of it.
I watched the highlights back. Man, that was a good game. That was fun to watch.
Yes.
It was the spear versus the shield, right?
Mm,
Defensive
mm,
players versus
mm.
attacking players.
Yeah,
And the defensive players held their own, man.
they
Good
have done with
defense
it.
wins games. Good defense wins games. It was great to see.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
great to see them play. I had such a good time watching those. Obviously, the United players, Van der Sar, Tevez,
Very tough.
Bergberg to Dimitir, Jisung Park coming on from the manager role. The second he subbed on, there was not a dry eye in the house. People were in
Mm,
tears, and then he scores
mm.
the PK. Phenomenal. But I mean, you're absolutely right. We're such a far cry away from those type
Oh,
of players.
I
Uh,
remember Man United going to FC Porto.
mm,
This was quarter-final Champions League 2008. They already played a 1-1 draw. This was when the away goal still counted.
right, yeah.
They played 1-1 draw at Old Trafford.
Mhm.
This is when Ronaldo took that shot from 40 yards
Right.
and they shut the game. Porto couldn't score 40 yards.
Yeah,
And
man.
got the 3 point.
Oh, what a
They
different
could not
era.
count. This is what I mean. They held it down.
Right.
That shot he took from like, what the fuck? No one, even Ferdinand said he told him, don't shoot, don't shoot. As
Right,
he
right, right.
hold the
Yeah,
ball.
yeah, yeah. No, he was always going to take that shot, and he was always
Rocket
going
Ronaldo.
to.
That was that
And
was
and what is it? And what is it that makes that team so different from this team? Are the players just better? Is
one.
the
The
management?
mentality, the
Is
mentality
it,
is tougher. They,
it
they they don't accept defeat.
yeah?
They go in there believing they're going to win.
Is there any team? Is there any modern team that that shows the same tenacity, the same mindset of kind of the not even I mean not even the old school mentality because we're talking about early 2000s. Um just any team that still has that grit that is not so bound by the brand of the individual player and
Right.
the agent and the media and all this kind of
They're not a
stuff.
lot. They're not a lot. They're not a lot. In
Is
fact,
there
it's going to
any?
be hard. I don't think there are any. I mean, if you're looking at Man City, I mean, they are all fancy, fancy, and give it to Haaland. That's it. But in
Yeah,
that United team, anybody could score a goal.
anybody.
Anybody. Tevez,
This was Sir
Rooney,
Alex
Ronaldo.
Ferguson's whole methodology. He believed that
Yeah,
goals should come from anywhere and everywhere.
yeah, yeah.
And I mean, it made for some absolute brilliant football. And honestly,
Vidic guarantees you 8 goals a season.
it honestly,
Ferdinand 5.
honestly, it's the way I coach my players. Like when I put a kid in a defensive position and he says, "But coach, I want to score goals." I say, "Great, go score goals." But you're
Done
playing
it.
back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
that it's there's such a mentality that
Right.
and when we talk about players like Rashford and these
Mm,
players that
mm.
only play one side of the ball, don't get me wrong, there were players that only played one side of the ball back in the day, but it made sense for the play style at the time that certain players played higher because you were trying to do very specific very players.
Of course, definitely.
Now especially like in the Pep era where like the team cohesiveness and the team build up in play is so important, like yeah, you really can't it's not sustainable to have those types of
No,
players, at least not in the Premier League.
not in the Premier
In
League.
other leagues,
Not in the Premier League.
you know.
So we go to Turkey on Thursday. We go to London on Sunday to play West Ham.
Mhm.
But the Fenerbahce game is we have to get a result, but we can't afford to lose. If we
Honestly,
lose,
I don't think you can afford to lose either. I think these are two games where you really have to win, and they're both very winnable games.
they're both winnable games. I mean, West Ham just got bumped 4-1 on Saturday by Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be looking to, they're not in Europe. I don't think they're in Europe. So they'll have a lot of
Are
time to
they in the
relax.
conference or
Are
not
they
at
in the
all?
conference? I don't even know. They go to the
Who's in the
final of the
conference?
conference.
Chelsea?
Hang on, didn't they win the conference? Or did the year before? Didn't they win the conference?
Was that was 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Or was it 2 years ago they won the conference? Or is it this last
Was it
season they
three
won?
years ago? Hold on, let me see. We can solve. Let me see. Where is
European Conference League 2023 or 2022?
conference league? I'm just looking up the current conference league. So conference league standings. Who are the English teams over here? But the Echoes, Shamrock Rovers. God, there's so many teams.
Yeah, it's a lot. I think it's 2022.
Wait a minute. Who are the Premier League teams here? Because I don't see any. Chelsea. I see Chelsea. Is that
Yes,
it?
Chelsea. I
I think
think
that's it.
Chelsea's. I think that's it because they came
Seventh,
seventh.
right?
Yeah.
Or we bumped them because we won the FA Cup.
Yes.
Because they were no, they were sixth, and
There
we
were
bumped.
six. We bumped
We were
them.
seventh, but we won
Yes.
the FA Cup,
We
so
won
they
the
got
FA Cup.
bumped.
Yes.
Take that.
Yes. We play
That's
them soon. I'm eager to see that game. I'm looking forward to the Man United Chelsea game coming up very soon. But all roads lead to Turkey. The players have got to be mentally ready for this game. You can't be intimidated by that crowd because that crowd are very boisterous. They're very loud. It's a very intimidating answer. I don't think United ever got resolved if my mind serves me right. Even when we went there in '94 for the first time against Galatasaray, against Eric Cantona, he got sent off.
hmm
I think we got destroyed there 4-0
hmm
or 2-0 or
Yeah,
something like that.
Galatasaray is doing all right right now, top of the league.
Yeah.
Uh, but no, it's going to be difficult. Anyone who says it's not going to be difficult, or
No,
that
it will be.
or anyone that says that it shouldn't be
Didn't we
difficult,
play? Did we play Galatasaray last season in Champions League? We got beaten there. Remember?
do we
Did
play
we play?
Galatasaray
I thought we were. We lost home and
in the
away to
Champions
them.
League?
Yeah.
Oh, dang, we did, didn't we?
Yeah, we can
Was
remember
that
we lost home and away to Galatasaray, right? We lost home and
that's
away. We lost boy. Well, I mean, so you predicted
yeah.
a tight draw, a tight you don't see United losing this game. You think they get
I
the act
I mean,
together.
it's I wouldn't go so far as to say that. It's very possible. I would just say I would
You see, I
like
won't
to.
go that far and say that.
Look, losing is always possible. Losing is always possible. Do I believe that we have we have every tool necessary to pull off a
Right,
two.
right, right.
The
I get it.
tools are there. Now it's down to the players,
Yeah. Hey,
and that's
it's
really what it comes down to.
oh,
And they
100%.
gotta work. They gotta work.
They have to work. They have to really they got to put the shift in. They got to put shift in. And without Bruno now, I don't know how it'd be great to see how mentally they adjust without Bruno in the team.
Honestly, again, it's one of those situations where like I would much rather have Bruno,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
A lot of people are looking forward to that. Funny enough, because I did
but
a poll recently,
is
and they all said
but
they want to see United about Bruno.
yeah, but is Ericsson in a number 10 role at least going to take care of the ball a little bit better? Less shots
We
from
can't tell.
distance, less
Would
flash
he? Would he?
passes. Ericsson is a person who will and Casemiro as well to a certain extent, who will look up the field, try to find the gaps, play through balls in behind on the floor,
Mm,
in towards the path of the running player. Like I think he opens up a little bit more for those wingers to make those runs off
right,
behind the ball. As well, I think the if you get the ball to Hoyland, we've seen like if you get the ball to him, he can score. So I think a player who is more concerned about getting the ball in towards his feet rather than maybe creating something more hero
right,
ball, these kinds of things, instead of more creating that kind of highlight. I think it might serve us well against an opponent like a Fenerbahce.
right,
Now, if
right,
we like for the Chelsea game, like yeah, Bruno needs to be back,
right,
right?
right. He'll be back.
Like
West
those
Ham.
kind
He'll be
of
back
moments.
against West Ham.
Yeah, right. I
Yes.
think so, right?
So he'll be back against West Ham. He just said in Europe. Remember the red card was rescinded for the Premier League, but
Right, 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 right.
the Europa one is standing. I think is that a one match ban or is that two match game ban? I can't remember anymore. Is it one game?
For the straight red.
But yeah, for this no the yeah for the Europa one.
Oh, that I'm not sure.
I
I
think so. I
was
don't know. It
was it
was
a
two yellow cards.
it was two yellows, so it should just
Yes.
be one game ban, correct?
Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
I believe that's
Right. So we have confirmed we have no return date for Luke Shaw, so that's just there. He might come back in the new year and disappear. Will he come back before Christmas? Will he
honestly at
come back
this
for
rate,
Easter?
that's probably what we're looking at. Is probably
No,
like a
yeah.
January
Right.
return or something like
And
this. A 2025 return. We're not looking at it. Won't be this year.
it's a mess, mate. It's a mess.
We just
Then we
January comes, we have to buy someone.
oh
We have to buy
we've
someone.
had it
Even if
out.
we get someone on a free, you got to find
We've
somebody.
had it. We've had it out. There's no way we can't go through like this, you know. But obviously, it's those situations that United have and Indians have to take care of, and we got to get a result on Thursday and a result on Sunday. But it's been a pleasure coming on the show tonight for this preview for the Fenerbahce game and talking about Lucho's injuries and where we are with the player and where the club is going in terms of Europa. But Louis, thank you for joining us today for coming on the show at short notice. Really appreciate you. your
It's always a pleasure,
contributions.
man.
Don't forget to tell our viewers, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We've had a great evening today, and we hope we could have some good news to talk about when we do the post match after the result on Thursday, going into Friday. So we see you guys after that. Hopefully, United could win. Glory, glory.
Man United. Thanks,
Take care,
Tim.
brother. I'll see you soon. You take care of yourself.